we go through, because right now we know that we are taking 16 in the U18 boys, but I am not sure about the other divisions. We will get to them by this afternoon. One special note, there will be 5 new PBA junior champions crowned this weekend. The PBA has come on board or allowed us to be part of them as well, so 5 of you will stand tall, including the U12 division, as well as the boys and girls in the U15 and U18. But to do so, you need to make sure that you are a PBA junior member. If you want information on that, please make sure that you check in with our people and staff inside the check-in room, and they will give you any of the information to be a part of that. In the past 23 years, we have awarded in excess of $225,000, and when we get done this weekend, we will certainly eclipse the $250,000 mark for the 24 years. As a reminder, we have a few openings later on, but if squads do happen to get full, please put your name on a waiting list. If you're interested, we'd like to make sure that we keep that up to date and keep things rolling along. The merchandise and raffle tables are inside of Rev Rates all day. The drawing will be held later on this afternoon, approximately 4:30. So if there's anything that you would like to acquire there, please check in with them. Remember, all those monies are going to go directly into the scholarship tournament, 100% of that. The Brands of Brunswick have donated a couple of new bowling balls. We will raffle them off each squad. We have a couple of different ones for each round today. Please make sure that you do whatever you would like to do as far as being a part of those raffles, as well as the 50-50. Tom Russo will be coming around with that and doing those during the squad. John Fury will be here most of the day inside of 10 Pin Pro Shop. He has some specials going on in there. But one of the things coincided with that, for not just the bowlers that are here right now, but the bowlers that can come in throughout the day, we have a brand new set of demo balls inside of Rev Rates. If you're interested, you can go down there for $10 for an hour. You can throw any of those balls down the lanes, 1 through 5, and check them out to see if they fit your game. So take them all in stride, one at a time. We have a few past champions with us. We'd like to mention, bowling with us on this squad is Micah Voorhees, Kai Struthers is also here, he's a past champion. And of course, the birthday girl. Happy 15th birthday to Allison Sackler. Special day for her.
Why are you so red?
Okay, at this time, we're going to do the lucky draw for 2 bowlers that are going to receive a $250 scholarship. Paul Lampy. Know you're here. Director in the squad. Please come up to the front desk. How about that? $250 in scholarship without throwing a ball. You know what? I want to sign up with you. And the other recipient is Timothy Doan. We get him to come up here. Paul, we're going to get a picture with you and Chuck. Congratulations to both of them. All right, everybody. If you can please do me a favor and stand and remove your hats, we would like to start by playing the national anthem. One last thing. If we can get anyone that has ever received a Bowl for Life scholarship, please to walk up to the foul line there with Chuck Gardner. We'd like to get one picture. If you've ever received anything in scholarship from Bowl for Life, please come up to the foul line. We're going to get one big group picture with everybody from Bowl for Life.
That's impressive.
Yes, that does mean we got to get close. You guys better get a little bit closer. Chuck's phone's not that wide. start your lanes. You're going to get 10 minutes of practice, and then we will hold everybody up and start at the same time.
And good morning from Howell Lanes in Howell, New Jersey. This is our third qualifying squad out of 5 for the 24th annual Parker Bohn III Scholarship Tournament. Good morning. I'm $2 Phil Brylow taking you all the way through the weekend. We have our last day of qualifying today. We'll give you our day 1 qualifying leaders in each of the 5 divisions after we get underway here. About 4.5 minutes of practice remaining. And at the conclusion of the day today, we'll have our cuts made that will advance to our double elimination bracket match play tomorrow. That'll start at 9 a.m. Eastern time here at Howell Lanes. And then our top players, after those brackets are complete, when we get down to our final 2, they'll move over to the rev rates side of Howell Lanes, that special little 5-lane bay that contains Bohn's Elite Training Facility, as well as the VIP area of rev rates. And they'll bowl that final roll-off to determine our champion inside of rev rates. It's going to be a pretty exciting day tomorrow for sure. Real exciting day today because it's bowl to get in match play, or you get to spectate for the rest of the weekend. And spares will be a premium on this 44-foot specially designed PB3 tournament pattern. About 3 minutes of practice remaining. Parker will have some announcements for the players, and we will get underway shortly.
ball, when you have 10 pins, good luck and good bowling.
And with the announcements from Parker Bohn III, we're underway with our third qualifying squad of the 5 in total here for this 24th annual Parker Bohn III Scholarship Tournament. I'm $2 Phil Brylow, bringing you through the weekend. Some of you may be tuning in looking for a particular player. If you're watching us on the Justin Bohn YouTube channel, and if you go down in the description underneath your video, if you're looking for a particular player, you'll see the link there for the Parker Bohn III Scholarship Tournament YouTube page. We have all the pair-by-pair feeds through that page, so right-click on that blue text under the video you're watching, and that'll open up a new tab. Keep this tab open because we'll have special guests like Parker Bohn, Chuck Gardner, and others stopping in throughout the day. In the Strike Central feed, and then you can watch your favorite player as they move from pair to pair, as they will move each game of qualifying to a new pair of lanes. While we focus on big strike strings, squad leaders and such in the Strike Central feed, we want to make sure if you're looking for one particular bowler on the squad, you can view them all morning long, and that's the way to do it on the Parker Bohn III Scholarship Tournament YouTube page with all of our pair-by-pair feeds. So 5 divisions in this event: under 12 mixed, under 15 girls, under 15 boys, under 18 girls, and under 18 boys. Qualifying started yesterday morning. And on day 1 in the mixed division, your leaders are currently Joseph Adoram and Odin Peters. As that division will have the fewest entrants, so they probably will not cut to 16 players in their elimination bracket. That might just go directly to a championship match. We'll have to see how entries go throughout the day today. And it's just because, you know, a lot of the kids, as they're developing, maturing, gaining strength, gaining flexibility, and learning how to get that ball speed and rev rate up, they might not feel that they're ready for scratch competition yet. And so that's why that's the smallest division at this time. But as these young players improve, we'll see more bowlers qualifying in the under 15 boys and girls division. In the U15 boys, Mel Sim is your leader, with Ryan Haberkern, Mithrander Luton, and Joshua Lamoureux rounding out your top 4 after day 1. Kimberly Chin leading the U15 girls after day 1. In the U18 boys, we said this pattern plays tough, 44 feet. Spares will be a premium today. We had just 9 players in the 1800 boys out of 35 entrants yesterday. Average 200 or greater. Donald Wu, the leader, at a 212 average for his 5 games, so plus 62 leading U18 boys after day 1. And in U18 girls, a single player to the plus, Amanda Morris, plus 3. A 200.6 average on the day, with Sierra Archangel, Eliana Ochino, and Sydney Bohn rounding out. So let's give you a rundown of your players bowling on this squad. Let's start over on 7 and 8. One pair with 5 players on it this morning. Your bowler A on this pair is Camille Forrester, bowling in the U15 girls division. Bowler B, also in that division, Madison Lesher. Bowler C, Allison Stakowitz. Bowler D, Kylie Opedesano. And Bowler E, Dakota Collins, all in the U15 girls division. Like I said, you can follow your favorite player. All these pairs live streaming on the Parker Bohn III Scholarship Tournament YouTube page. On 9 and 10, your bowler A, Sydney Bohn. Your bowler B, Amelia Lemanowitz. Your bowler C, is Lena Kratzer, and your bowler D, Sierra Archangel. Archangel and Bohn both trying to improve on their scores from yesterday. Multiple entries are allowed in this event to qualify. However, obviously you may cash only once. And on 11 and 12, all these bowlers on these 2 pairs are in the U18 girls division. Kirsten Michelle, your bowler A. Bowler B, Madison Lewis. Bowler C, Eliana Ochino. Bowler D, Cassandra Westfall. So we know Ochino, Michelle, and Lewis all attempting to improve on their qualifying scores from yesterday. Over on 13 and 14. Your bowler A. On lane 13 and 14. Samanda serves. Your bowler A. Your bowler B, Emily Hallahan. Bowler C, Reagan Smith. Bowler D, Gavin Broad. So the ladies on that pair, all in the 18 girls division. Smith 18 boys division. Moving over to 15 and 16, these players all in the 18U boys division. Jack Pearson, your bowler A. Gregory Davis, your bowler B. Zachary DeMello, your bowler C. Michael Matcherworth, your bowler D. Here on 15 and 16. And we got a front six there. For DeMello. So we'll stay with him for his next shot. And then we'll give you a quick introduction through the rest of the players in the field. We'll get back to him. If he continues to strike, that's what the purpose of Strike Central is for. We catch hot hands. We focus on leaders. And that's why we have all those pair-by-pair feeds for everyone, so you get a chance to watch your favorite player all morning long. Actually, we'll have a moment here, so we'll get back to DeMello momentarily. Let's get your introductions on 17. Through 20. 17A is Paul Lampy, B, Justin Rizzo, C, Corey Nurse. And D, Ethan Kraus. On 19 and 20, Hatsman, Campbell, Goodspeed, and Lesher are your players on 19 and 20. We'll get you back over to DeMello as he's going to be attempting to get his front seven in just a second. Over to DeMello, he's on the right side of your screen. Two-hander winds it up, a little off balance, but still gets them all to go. And we'll get you back for his eighth frame. Let's get you introduced to players on the squad on 21 through 24, all in the U18 boys division. Brighton Boyce, your bowler A. Donald Wu, your bowler B. Wu trying to improve on his score from yesterday. I would think plus 62 would be okay for that bracket, but he wants to give it another shot. Joseph Dominguez, your bowler C. Prior champion Mika Voorhees, your bowler D. That's all on 21 and 22. Jonathan Hines, 23A. Schmidt of the Jack variety. B. Cunningham of the William variety. C. Ian Harmon, your D, on 23 and 24. Good start here by Voorhees. Spare 4-bagger. Now make it 5. Voorhees part of the winning team in the trios competition last night. Little fun tournament with the eliminator portion of the event as well. Voorhees and Dominguez teaming up. In that trios tournament. With, I can't remember Block's last name, the young lady, or her first name. Yeah, we'll figure it out. And while we were away, wow. DeMello kind of rushed through his pre-shot routine there. Snuck me behind, but as you can see there, 10-pin stands, so his bid for perfection ends, but still, get out of the gates at 279. You're going to have to be feeling pretty good if DeMello can finish off the remainder of this game with strikes. Yep, and there we go. Single pins have been an issue for some players this weekend. Hopefully that doesn't become a real issue for DeMello the rest of the way. Let's get you here, your players introduced on 25 through 28. Michael Martin's your bowler A on 25 and 6. Ryan Lang, your bowler B. Leventhal of the Jeremy variety, bowler C. Jaden Canto, bowler D. Next door, Sundberg on 27 and 28 is your bowler A. And of the Matthew variety. Timothy Doan, B. Ethan Bromley, C. David Mitz, D. Once again, as these players move from pair to pair, don't have the lane movement. I'm not sure if they're skipping a pair landing on the second today or if there's a bigger jump. Yeah, a little bigger jump. So skipping 2 pairs, landing on the third. So for those of you watching your favorite player on a pair feed, basically add 6 to the number that your player's lane is currently, and then I'll get you to their game 2 number, and then 6 every game after that as well. Best way to do it. So since they're skipping 2 pairs, landing on the third pair, yep, just add 6 to that number, and now keep your bowler in sight on our pair by pair feeds all morning long. And let's take you over to our final 4 lanes in play. 29 through 32. Alexander Stakowitz, your bowler A. Kai Struthers, who had a nice run in this tournament last year. Struthers with the strike there. He's your bowler B. Mithrander Lutan trying to improve on his qualifying score from yesterday in the 15 U boys is your bowler C. Addison Quattrini, your bowler D. Over on 31-32, Donovan Klein, your bowler A. Michael Fogarty, your bowler B. Ryan Wilders, your bowler C. And Riley Granda, your bowler D. All the players on this pair, on these 2 pairs, are in the 15 U boys division, except for Stakowitz in the U12 and Quattrini in the U15 girls. So let's get back over the man with the big game here in game one, Zachary DeMello. You'll see him finish in the middle of your screen shortly, looking to get to 267 after that open frame in the 8th when he left the 10-pin on that opening string. We'll let you enjoy the 10th frame for DeMello with the ambient sounds and beautiful sights of Howell Lanes here in Howell, New Jersey. And this is our 3rd qualifying squad for the Parker Bohn III Scholarship Tournament, 24th annual edition. Glad to be a part of it once again this year. All right, waiting for a couple players to finish up. We'll get into game 2 momentarily. We do have that one pair with 5. So it'll be a little off on the lane movement here and there, but glad to have all these young players in here. Full house, more than full house. 52 would be full. 26 lanes in play here. Inside of Hollow Lanes. And all of them full with at least 2 bowlers a lane. Like I said, we have one lane with 3, so make it 53 on this squad. Should be well over 200 entries total once again on this event. And I see a question in the chat about the pattern. Pattern is 44 feet in length. Parker worked with John Janowitz down at Kegel on the pattern. About 14 milliliters in each pass going down the lane and coming back up the lane for a total of 28 milliliters in the pattern. And it's relatively flat. 7th board to the gutter. Pretty flat. So the bowlers can try to use that part of the lane to get the ball to recover, but you need to be pretty exacting with that. Part of the pattern. So you'll see a lot of players migrate towards the middle where the bump in the pattern is basically between 8th board and 13th board. So track area on the right side, and lefties will be a little farther in than a lot of them normally play on house patterns. Usually you see the 7th, 6th, 5th board for lefties with a little more pristine lack of wear area on their part of the lane. But we'll see a lot of players do that. We see some of the younger, higher rev rate players using urethane to start. I'm not sure how successful that's going to be with the variety of styles. And don't forget, for these young players, they're not bowling with the same divisions as they cross pairs. So a lot of the young ladies that just got done in the U15 girls on the low end are going to move into pairs where the 18 U boys were just bowling, so higher rev rates, varied ball speeds, and probably some urethane thrown by some players. It's going to give them a little bit of a change in lane transition than some of the players coming off the high end. And coming down to our first couple of pairs and play on the low end, as the young ladies lower rev rates and less surface on the bowling balls, going to change the lanes differently than what we have. So, Jamie, hope that answered your questions on the pattern. I know a lot of these players are trying to figure out this pattern still, getting into game number 2. Those of you that are watching, hey, do me a favor. Copy the link up in your browser that you're watching us on, whether it's Edge or Chrome or Firefox, whatever you might be doing. Copy the YouTube link on the page you're watching, and then go on your social media. Whether it's Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. And share that link. Let everybody know they can watch some great youth bowling. Players vying for a lot of scholarship money this weekend. And they can do it for free, thanks to all of our sponsors here, including Craig's Heating and Air Conditioning, Rita's Ice Cream Parlor, Manchester Accounting, Storm Youth Championships, Buddy's Pro Shop, I Am Bowling Brunswick, and the brands of Brunswick, including Ebonite, Deviate, Radical, Track, Hammer, and Columbia 300. The Bowl for Life Scholarship Foundation, once again, Bowl for Life giving away 2 $250 scholarships this morning to a couple young players before they even threw a bowling ball. Random drawing given out. Chuck Gardner pulling the tickets on that drawing, and it's got to be a really good feeling. It's got to loosen up the arm swing a little bit, knowing that you have $250 in scholarship money already in your back pocket before you even throw a ball. So thanks to Chuck and Deb Gardner and Bowl for Life for those extra scholarships during this event. More sponsors include Tom Russo Photography and, of course, Rev Rates and inside of Rev Rates, Bohn's Elite Training. And I want to thank, once again, the PBA and PBA Junior programs coming on board for the PB3 tournament once again. And if a youth player this weekend is already a member of PBA Junior and they take home the title in any of the 5 divisions of competition, not only will they receive the PB3 title for their division, but they will also receive credit for a PBA Junior title as well. And it's always good when you walk into those PBA tournaments and see your champion's banner hanging up on the masking units at the end of the lanes. Everyone knows that you've done damage in these events before and you are a champion of PBA Junior. Yeah, I want to thank Mike Sleds and everybody involved in the PBA Junior program for not just letting this particular tournament be a PBA affiliate tournament, but all the tournament and tournament series for youth across the United States that are members of the PBA affiliate program as well. And those PBA affiliate tournaments are part of the point system inside of PBA Junior competition for a separate year-long scholarship prize fund, the Jim Welch Memorial Scholarship. A great scholarship program after a great man who did a lot to support the sport of bowling for decades across the country. The world lost Jim a couple years back, and it's good to see Jim Welch memorialized with something that was very important to him, continuing the sport, especially for the younger players. And it's always tough when you move pairs to try to get a big strike string going early. And taking a look around the pairs in my general area, I'm down on the low end of the house band, 7 and 8 with the broadcast booth. Most of our pairs already in the 3rd, 4th frame, and don't see too many, actually don't see any really 4-baggers out there. Still some pairs just getting underway. So if we get a hot hand firing a lot of strikes, we'll get you to that pair. But right now, a pair that's throwing a lot of strikes is over here on 17, 18. And it should be Eliano Ochino stepping up. There you see her on lane 17 working on the 5-bagger, make it a 6-bagger for Ochino. Yep, there it is. There's the 6-bagger. So that pair with throwing some strikes, they're getting ahead of pace of some of the other pairs. They may want to keep an eye out. You don't want to stand around too long. It's easy when you're younger. wait around, socialize with your friends and such. You know, us old guys, we got to wait more than 3 minutes between games, start to stiffen up a bit. You got to make sure you stay loose. These kids don't have that problem. A little jealous of that. But Ochino trying to make sure she secures her spot. Well, quality game there for Ochino, even with the open frame in the 10th. Still gets herself to 228. I'll tell you what, any young lady that finishes right about a 200 average today, I don't care what division you're in, for the girls, whether it's U18, U15, or the U12 mixed, you're going to see match play action tomorrow. As tough as this pattern is playing for not just the girls, but for everybody out there. Let's take you next door for a little bit. There's that fivesome just underway. We got a front four. For Sierra Archangel. Pardon me, that's not Archangel. It's Madison Lewis front four. No, once again. I got to add 6. I just told everybody last game, add 6 to the first game. Trying to get the lane movement right, and unfortunately, I don't know a lot of these players by face or name yet. Getting to know them, this being my second year out here. So it's Amelia Lemanowitz, your bowler B on 15 and 16. So Lemanowitz is going to be stepping up here looking for an opening 5-bagger. There you see Sydney Bohn looking to stop the Dutch string, and nope, she's still going to be Dutch with that spare conversion. And there's a front 5 for Lemanowitz. So once we have final entry numbers in, will determine what our cuts to match play tomorrow will be. The maximum number in a bracket, and I think the only division that's going to get to that number in the bracket of 16 is going to be the U18 boys. U15 is going to get close for the boys. U18 girls should be at least an 8-player bracket. Not sure if they're going to give buys to higher qualifiers if we don't get to 16 players in a bracket. We'll have to get that determined with the tournament staff a little later this morning. And if you want to get your results on this event, tournament results are available at Parker Bohn 3, and that's the number 3, not III, not Roman numerals like we normally see past Parker's name and tournament standings and such. But Parker Bohn, the number 3.com, and right on that homepage you see right smack dab in the middle, you got yourself 2023 results, and Justin Bohn and the rest of the tournament staff working as hard as they can, as quick as they can to turn around those games and get your totals out to you game by game. Well, the string ends for Lemanowitz, and it ends badly there, 4-6-10. Take the 2, move on, get your count, and get back to marking. Well, that's the key, bouncing back for a player like Lemanowitz after that open frame in the sixth. Even if you're not striking at will anymore, like she did the first 5 frames, at least get those frames filled. Give yourself a chance to hold on. And even if you go Dutch the rest of the way out, she's still looking at 225. And once again, with tomorrow being 2-game total pin matches and all pinfall from today dropped due to it being a bracket for match play. So really just throw the best score you can, let the pins fall where they may. And get into tomorrow, and then even if you don't have the greatest of finishes today, as long as you're in that cut, it doesn't matter. Everybody starts at 0 tomorrow. Oh, Romeo's Pizza and More inside of Howell Lanes. Looks like they're getting ready to open for business. Had a nice chicken Caesar salad wrap yesterday. Quite tasty for lunch, and I'm sure be hitting that up again today on the break between squads. And a lot of activity going on over in the rev rates portion of Howell Lanes, as bowlers that aren't on a particular squad have the ability to try out some of the latest and greatest from the brands of Brunswick in a test session on this same tournament pattern they have applied over at rev rates. Some of these young players and even some of the parents I've seen shoeing up, trying out some of those new brand of Brunswick balls. And with, of course, having Fury's solid 10 Pro Shop with PBA Pro member John Fury taking care of business in there. Some of these bowlers and parents will be walking out today with some brand new bowling equipment, freshly drilled. And getting ready for that fall league and tournament season. So our second of 5 qualifying games wrapping up here on our third qualifying squad. 2 more squads remain today for bowlers to advance to Sunday. Next squad begins at 12:30 p.m. And our final squad of the day is going to begin at 4 p.m. Eastern time here from Howell Lanes. So player movement, game 3 coming up next. Want to thank Chuck Gardner. Chuck just left the building. Want to thank Chuck for all the help he gave us yesterday. Safe travels, Chuck. Thanks again for everything you and your lovely wife, Deb, do with the Bowl for Life Scholarship Foundation. If you want more information on what they do for Bowl for Life and all the great scholarship programs they run, it's not about bowling talent, it's about life talent with Bowl for Life. They don't care if you average 220, 120, or 20. Just that you're involved in the sport and that you give back in the community and take the time to look inside and reflect upon yourself with some of the SAA contests that they have. Check out what scholarships are available for your youth bowler. As we said, it's not about the talent on the lanes. It's about life off the lanes at bowlforlife.com. Take you over some pairs just getting underway on 21 and 22. You'll see Bohn, Lemanowitz, Kratzer, and Archangel on 21 and 22. On 23 and 24, you'll see Michelle, Lewis, Ochino, and Westfall take care of things. So we'll start you with a little rolling in the U18 girls division, and we'll keep an eye out on some hot hands and get you all the Game 2 results when they come out of the tournament office in a few minutes. Once again, I want to thank all of our sponsors. Of this event. Many of them have been around for years, since day one. This event, like Manchester Accounting Services. Other great sponsors like Craig's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, Rita's Ice Cream Parlor, Storm Youth Championships, Buddy's Pro Shop, another longtime sponsor of this event, I Am Bowling, the Brands of Brunswick, Tom Russo Photography, and of course, Bones Elite Training inside of Rev Rates here at Howell Lanes, and the PBA and PBA Junior, the major sponsors, all of those sponsors, major sponsors. Of this 24th annual PB3 Scholarship Tournament. Well, it just goes to show there's no such thing as a pre-shot routine that's the same for everyone. You look at the bowling pace we have over on 23 and 24, and they're usually half a game ahead. With some solid scores than our players on 21 and 22, but you got to do what's comfortable for you on the pre-shot routine. Chuck Gardner had a nice presentation for the youth bowlers and their parents yesterday in rev rates. And one of the things Chuck talked about was a pre-shot routine, but it's a pre-shot routine that's comfortable for the player. And Chuck said, you know, if you think about it, a lot of times you get later on in the block, you take that little extra time because you think you need it and mess with your pre-shot routine. You don't always make the greatest shot. There's no difference between the importance of frame 1, game 1 in qualifying and frame 10 of game 5 this weekend. An open frame in either one of those frames is still an open frame, and it's still going to affect your pinfall total at the end of the qualifying block. So don't treat the frames any different. Don't treat your pre-shot routine any different. Get that into that's why it's called routine, pre-shot routine, and it has to be comfortable for you. And it just seems like such a simple point Chuck made. But sometimes the simplest points are the most effective points when it comes to improving on the lanes. Well, you can't call that the commentator's curse because I said nothing about Struthers' front 5 before we cut to them. So it's not on the commentator giving the jinx. Good break there to just leave the single pin. As a lot of times on light hits this weekend, we've seen a bunch of, in the case for a lefty like Struthers, 3-7 combinations. A lot of 2-10s, 2-8-10s for the right-handers as they've worked their way through the weekend. There'll be a short break after this squad's completed for a reapplication of this 44-foot PB3 scholarship tournament pattern. We'll get some new bowlers checked in. We may get some bowlers off of this squad checked in. There might be some bowlers that are already entered on the next squad, taking their best shot at making the top part of their divisions. Re-entries are allowed. Of course, you can only cash once. as long as a young player or the parents has that $75 available for another entry. And there's room on the squad. They can do it. I don't think there's any room on the 12:30 squad. There might be some room on the 4 o'clock squad. 4 o'clock squad used to be re-entry only. They changed that this year. And then once we're through the 4 o'clock squad, we'll determine our cuts to tomorrow's double elimination match play competition. A lot of the players here on this pairing lanes all in the U18 boys division. And 2-game scoring update. As we said, we got that one pair at 5, so it's kind of taking the scoring updates and making them a bit off kilter. We're taking a look at the entries in our divisions. Looking more like we'll have at least 8 bowlers advancing in the U18 girls bracket. We already said we'll have 16 for sure in the boys. U15 girls, that might be a smaller bracket. That might end up being a 4-bowler bracket. U15 boys, that looks like it could be an 8 or 12 player bracket, assuming entries continue on as they are now. In the U12 mixed, looking like that'll be a possible 4-player bracket for tomorrow's double elimination match play competition. So working towards finishing our 3rd game in the books. 2 games remaining for these bowlers on our 3rd qualifying squad at the Parker Bohn III Scholarship Tournament. Glad you're joining us today from Howell, New Jersey and Howell Lanes. And we will bring you coverage of both qualifying squads, tomorrow's match play, and tomorrow's championship finals all through the Parker Bohn III Scholarship Tournament YouTube page for all of our pair-by-pair feeds. And our Strike Central feed available not just on the PB3 YouTube, but also on the Justin Bohn YouTube channel. That's where many of you are watching us now. And once again, and Parker, Leslie, the family, and myself would all appreciate, take that web address you see in your browser address bar, highlight it, hit that old Control-Z, and then go to your social media, whether it's Facebook, X, or Twitter, or whatever Elon's going to call it this week, Instagram, TikTok, whatever you may use, and share that web address. Let everybody know they can watch some of the best youth players across the northeastern United States take to the lanes and battle it out for this prestigious PB3 Scholarship Tournament title. Hey, Matt Russo. Sorry I didn't get a chance to see you in person out here. I know you're a little busy with wedding plans for you and your lovely bride, Lauren, as I trip over my tongue. Apologies. Sorry, Lauren, if you're watching too. You know, you guys are getting busy not just with the wedding plans, but obviously the college bowling season starting up. So you guys will be having the coaching hats on pretty soon. And looking forward to seeing you guys somewhere sometime as soon as possible. Thanks for tuning in. And we're keeping an eye on your dad there, Matt. We're not letting him do much more than sell some raffle tickets, keep an eye on things. So, yeah, we're making sure he doesn't do too much. And Matt, I know we'll see you in Portland. I'll be out there doing some behind the scenes stuff for the PBA. And I know Matt's looking forward to bowling his teammates on the Las Vegas High Rollers with Frankie Lavoie, Andrew Anderson, AJ Johnson, and Ildemar Ruiz Jr. That starts 3 weeks from today for qualifying. Qualifying so important in that PBA league now, especially this year where if you're basically in the bottom five, you're on the first TV show and it's one-game matches and you're out on that Sunday. So you definitely want to make your top five in qualifying and avoid being on TV day one. All right, let's take you down all the way down to the end. Here you see Reagan Smith ready to get things underway on 31 and 32 with her foursome. That being with Samantha Serves, Emily Holahan, Gavin Broad, and of course Reagan Smith. Next door, you've got Michelle, Lewis, Ochino, and Westfall all in the U18 girls division. After 2 games, Ochino leading the squad. Yeah, plus 38, just a pin up on Lemanowitz. Kirsten Michelle, third, plus 18. Collins and Bohn tied for fourth on the squad in the U18 girls at plus 7. After 2 games, 3-game scoring update will take a little bit. We'll get those updated for you. Kids make your spares. That's the key today. Scores, once again, aren't that high, and we saw some good starts yesterday from players. Again, the first couple of pairs before a lot of the transition happened. And then kind of hold on for dear life as the cut number kind of went backwards the last 3 games of a block. Probably that'll happen the same way today. It's not exactly a grind out here, honestly, for these young players. It's a tough pattern. It's 2-1 from the middle to the track part of the lane. 4-1 if you count the outside couple of boards all the way to the middle. But it's relatively flat, 7th board out. I mean, it's really flat, dead flat. So that's why we're not seeing too many people playing straight up the outside. A lot of players playing in the track area or just a little bit of belly. And I'm sure as the block rolls on, we'll see that slight progression to the left, shot after shot, especially for the right-handed players. Taking a look at the U18 after a couple of games here on Squad 3. Corey Nurse plus 82, Micah Voorhees plus 80, Zach DeMello plus 76. So 2 guys that had a hot hand early on. Voorhees started with 279. DeMello started with 265, and they both slowed down in game 2. Jason Cano, 257 start, 209 in game 2, slowed down. So once again, some players able to take advantage of that starting pair and then kind of hold on for dear life as you move from pair to pair in the differing transitions, especially because you're not following the same styles of bowler. You're not following the same age range of bowler as you are in a lot of other tournaments. Everybody's mixed in together here, And you need to be able to think on your feet, recognize how that transition on your pair is treating you when you move to it, and make quality shots those first 2 frames to determine what type of moves you need, because the last thing you want to do is waste 4, even 6 frames trying to figure out what to do. And trying to look around to see what type of strike strings we have early on from some of these pairs. And you see one 4-bagger. That bowler struggled open in the 5th, open in the 6th. And not a lot of 230 or above games possible out here at the moment. Checking with some other pairs shortly. Otherwise, if you're watching us on the Justin Bohn YouTube channel, you'll see that link down in the description under the video you're watching. You see that blue highlighted text for the Parker Bohn 3rd Scholarship Tournament YouTube page. Right-click on that, open a new tab, because keep us on in here. We'll give you score updates. We're trying to get some guests in here as the day goes along. And we'll get you updated on the standings. All kinds of other good stuff as the day goes along. Yeah, we just have some players finishing game 3. So scoring updates not out yet for our divisions. watching Brandon Bohn yesterday inside of Rev Rates trying to make the 5-7-10 with a 6-pound bowling ball. I don't think he ever got it done. Oh, you did make it twice. Okay. You must have been after I left then. Because he tried about 30 times before I left, and it wasn't even close. He even got down. He even went down about 5 feet in front of the lane. He took 3 bowling balls at the same time and shoved them at the pins and still managed to miss. I think he left the 10 pin. He got the 5 and the 7, but he missed the 10. Actually, he made the 7 and 10 and missed the 5. He was right in the middle of the lane and missed the 5. Good timing, Tommy. He's trying to defend himself for trying to make the 5-7-10 yesterday. So, see, they got 3 people walking with him, Matt, making sure he doesn't do anything, but Hollery's raffling off a bowling ball. We got an eye on Tom Russo. He's not doing anything he's not supposed to be doing. So almost finished up here with game 4 on our end pairs. pacing's a little jumbled. We'll find some pairs that are already getting into Game 5. Some of these players' final chance to make it into tomorrow's match play competition. I don't think there's many spots left for re-entries. But our next qualifying squad starts at 2:30. All right, and joining me in the booth, Brandon Bohn. And Brandon's scoring pace on the U18 boys, I thought with the number of players on the squad and the quality of the players is going to be a little bit higher. They started off hot, I saw at least 4 250 games and higher, and they immediately cooled off back in the 2-0 range. How would you be playing the lanes out here on the left side? I mean, you got to be kind of licking your chops looking at this pattern.
Yeah, watching the scoring pace, I kind of figured it would be a little low. I'm thinking it's going to be around even to make the cut in the U18 boys.
Okay.
And then obviously the scores are going to be a little bit lower with the other divisions. But, you know, I came by doing the scores, and I heard you talking about me, and I couldn't let you keep talking about me like that. So I decided I needed to jump in.
Well, you just needed to, make the 5-7-10 sooner than 30 shots when I got bored with you and I walked away. So, I mean.
Well, you let me know the next guy you see that leaves a 5-7-10 makes it on the first try. So.
Were there, I think it was Jana Brandolino. I think there was a recent video of her on social media that left the 5-7-10 and picked it up.
Caitlin Avagana.
Oh, was it Caitlin?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I got my young ladies confused again.
Yeah. But anyway, getting back to your original question, how would I play this pattern? I think I would throw some urethane.
Wait. A lefty with a 700 rev rate and urethane. There's a surprise.
Yes. I'm watching a little bit of Kai Struthers, going past, getting the scores, watching a lot of different bowlers bowl in a lot of different areas of the lane.
Now, Kai Struthers, decent rev rate. I wouldn't say a high rev rate. I mean, he's solid. He's probably about 450 or so on the rev rate, which nowadays is higher end, but it's not super high.
Not super high, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, why is it advantageous for somebody like Kai to use urethane on this type of pattern, especially because it's 44 feet in length?
I think it just keeps your angles a little bit straighter and lets him stay a little bit further to the left. Keeps him out of trouble, especially with lefties going right. They run into the right-handed traffic when they get in and move left. And we always say anything under 37 feet favors the left. Anything over 42 feet favors the right.
Okay.
And, you look at a 44-foot pattern, and it kind of breaks down to where the righties can just move in and, hook it and have hold in the middle of the lane. And then when the left-handers have to move right, they move into all the righties' traffic. So, but
okay,
this year's pattern is 44 feet, and the bowlers got to go out there and give it their best shot. So,
is it tough now after all the years of bowling in this tournament, being on the sideline, spectating, helping out, that kind of thing? I mean, it's not like you weren't standing around the rounds you didn't bowl in previous years. I mean, you always had a clipboard in your hand or a tablet or whatever when you were in bowling, but how does it feel that you're just being the spectator? It's got to be a little weird.
It is very weird, especially because it's my first one, not bowling, just going out there and watching. But yeah, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I think it's a good time. I'm having I'm having a good time watching.
Okay.
Especially because it's a little longer pattern this year. I think I'd rather be watching.
Okay.
If my urethane ball doesn't do what I want it to do, then maybe I'd be better off watching.
So Chuck Gardner says he said yesterday you're a one-trick pony with just a bag full of purple hammers. I mean, I wasn't going to say he's right, but you're making it sound like he's right.
Well, maybe a little. Maybe a little. I throw a little mix of reactive here and there, but yeah, I think this pattern definitely is favorable on the right, but we'll see. Some lefties hit him pretty hard, and Kai's bowling pretty good right now, so we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see down the stretch what happens.
Now, this doesn't affect you personally yet, but it's going to in the future. The PBA new rule for urethane going to 78 hardness for the minimum at manufacture, so in case it does get soft over time, it stays within that USBC limit of 73. Is that something you're going to take a look at, even though you're just bowling collegiately this year, or is it something that you're going to, if you get a chance to test out a piece or two of the extra hard urethanes, are you going to do it?
Yeah, I think eventually I'm definitely going to have to jump on that train.
Okay.
I'll be honest, I still have yet to drill one of the new purple hammers, the purple pin ones. So the ones they came out with earlier this year for the tour. I've heard that the purple pin ones are pretty good.
Okay.
Obviously, you can't really go wrong with the purple hammer. You just find one that rolls better than the other. But, yeah, I've heard a lot of people say a lot of good things about the purple pin, and I have yet to drill one. So
okay.
I'm looking forward to drilling a few of those. I have 2 of them on the way. But, yeah, I think this new 78 hardness rule is definitely going to affect the left, and it may even bring out some of the older lefties back out on tour. Maybe like a Rhino Page or a Patrick Allen, who are really good at throwing reactive. And I think you may see Ryan Simonelli come back a little bit more on TV.
Okay. Now, it's kind of funny because back when your dad was first out on tour and the urethanes were manufactured then, those urethanes were all 77, 78 hardness back in the day. So, and the PBA had their own rule. It had to be 75 on the durometer, as compared to the ABC back then, which was 72. So we know urethanes can do the job on the right condition at that higher hardness level. And one thing I'm sure you probably run into with some friends and that type of thing, and other bowlers that see you, is they get confused on that rule. They see that, some of the social media posts that are getting put out there that are clickbait. Urethane ban, blah, 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 blah. Have you had a lot of people come up to you that you've kind of had to set straight a bit on the hardness rule, with it being just for the PBA?
Yeah, I think that's one of the hardest things that we as the younger generation need to realize is the PBA is the PBA and the USBC is the USBC. And,
yeah.
All of us kids, and I'll even throw me in there because I still technically call myself a kid.
Well, yeah.
But we don't bowl PBA. Unless we're bowling a regional, we don't really, enter in our fair share of PBA events. So it doesn't really affect us. But USBC is all still the same rules as they were a few years ago. So you can still throw a Kentucky purple hammer. You can still throw an older pitch black or a Booyah or any other urethane that came out 3 or 4 years ago that's your favorite.
Right.
You just can't throw them in PBA events.
I've got a black Phantom from 1992. It's still, I haven't rolled the ball in a couple of years, but I still have it.
Yeah.
I got that thing, sealed up. I rotate it every month or so, to make sure it doesn't, because that was a phenomenal urethane ball back in the day. And like you said, I couldn't use it if I were ever to unretire and go bowl a PBA 50 regional or something. But I could, use some of the newer stuff that's out there.
Yeah.
My rev rate would not be very conductive to urethane. My 390 to 420 rev rate.
Well, I think, you look around and we bowl on such flat conditions nowadays.
Yeah.
And all they do is they get harder and harder, and urethane is controllable. And when you can use it on anything, you see guys nowadays using it on 50 feet.
Yep.
You can use purple hammer on 32 feet or 52 feet. The ball is like a magic ball. And so I think if oil conditions get more oil in the middle and less to the outside, making the ratio go up a little bit, then you'll see less of them. But I think you'll always see them around.
Okay.
So
Now, a little change in your collegiate career.
yeah,
New school this year.
yeah. We're changing subjects quick here.
Well, I got to keep you on your toes. I mean, not just.
Well, I am standing, so.
You are standing, so.
Yeah.
So, new school. You want to get into details on where you're going and why you made the change, or?
Yeah. I can get into that. So,
Okay.
For those of you that know, I was at Mount Mercy in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and I guess I should say now, starting this past Monday, I am currently enrolled at Weber International University in Florida. Going to bowl at Kegel all the time. I'm super excited for that. But I'll say the main reason for leaving, I think, the culture change.
Okay.
With Sidney Brummett leaving and a couple other of my teammates leaving, I didn't feel like my season would ever be the same without them there.
Okay.
And, I said it on a Bowl TV interview a couple weeks ago at Junior Gold that, friends make your college experience.
Yeah. Oh,
And,
absolutely.
if you can't find the right people there to hang around with and surround yourself with, and I'm not saying that I wouldn't have this year, because I definitely have a lot of friends that go to Mount Mercy still. But if you can't have friends, at your school,
Yeah.
I mean, your college experience is going to be rough. And when you can surround yourself with friends and people that support you and want the best for you, and I think that's the best answer for you.
Okay.
So.
Now, with transferring, do you have to wait a year before bowling in
Fortunately,
competition?
I do not.
Okay.
So with the new USBC rule,
So they've kind of mimicked the NCAA with the transfer
yes,
portal then?
Yes.
Okay.
So with the new USBC rule, you do not have to sit out a year when you transfer. So if you noticed, a lot of guys and girls were in the transfer portal this year, and they're changing up their school and education. So a lot of new different faces with some new different colors in this collegiate season coming up.
Yeah, a.k.a. McJacksonville
Yes.
State.
Jacksonville State, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of – 4 they're starting 5?
Yeah,
Made the
transfer from
with
McKendree.
the O'Keefes?
Yeah.
But here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Don't count the McKendree ladies out of anything, because it's such a strong program that they're going to have no problem rebuilding quickly. And do you know who's the new coach out there? I forgot who they hired for the
I
Do you
believe
know?
it's a mixture of Brianna Clemmer,
okay. I knew
Sean.
there was a
is it
PW.
Sean Bibby, I believe.
Bibby? Okay.
I might be butchering the name,
Yeah.
but I know it's a Sean.
Yeah. Bibby or Bibby, yeah.
Yeah, and then Dennis is still out there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, still an unbelievable program, and I
Yeah.
think with Dennis there, he's a great coach and a great guy, and I think the boys team will continue to grow. So,
Now, how different is it training at Weber at Kegel than it is here at Rev Rates in Bohn's Elite Training? It can't be that much different, because other than the coach, I mean, the equipment I would think would all be the same. You can put out any pattern you want. You have all the training stuff like Specto and Torch and everything here and there. So is what you're doing for practice down there any different at Kegel than what you do here at Rev Rates?
yeah, I think a little bit.
Really? Okay.
I've fallen into the trap where I just like to see my ball strike. And so when I come into the training center here over to our left, is I just put on my shot and I just throw first balls. So I don't even shoot second balls. And I think, I'll be honest, that was probably one of the biggest reasons why I struggled at Junior Gold this year, was my spare game wasn't as good as it probably could have been.
Okay.
So an eye-opener for sure, but now it's taught me that, when you come into practice, don't put on my shot all the time. Just, you got to shoot what you leave. And like I said yesterday, in the mental performance thing we did with Chuck was, whenever you leave a spare, don't hit the reset. Shoot the spare, because you're eventually going to leave it again. But what I used to do when I was here and practiced was when I left the spare, it took it away for me, so I didn't hit the reset.
Right.
So, but yeah, I think just shooting my spares again, and getting used to the first and second ball, and yeah, I think that's the biggest difference.
Okay.
So
Now, coaching here, obviously, a lot with your dad, a lot with your mom and such. Were there other coaches you worked with up here on your game, or was it just basically mom and dad?
I wouldn't necessarily say mom and dad.
Okay.
I would lean towards a little bit more towards dad.
Yeah.
Dad is like my hero, my mentor, my role model. He's all in one.
Okay.
And I guess he's my dad too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get a lot of my tips and tricks and whatever else I need to get from him. And mom's more of the behind the scenes. Like, if she sees something small, she'll definitely let me know. But yeah, if ever I feel off, I just go to dad. And what's I guess bad for me and good for everybody else is now he gives lessons and even more lessons. So now he's going to get everybody else sharper to beat up on me. So
he wants you working for everything. Let's be honest.
yeah,
He
yeah.
doesn't-
But that's okay though.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes our sport competitive and makes me want to get even better and to stay on top. So
Now, Junior Team USA as well.
yes.
What's one thing you've learned at a training session at ITRC that you didn't know, even working with a great professional like your dad, that has kind of changed your game a bit? Is there anything that's been taught down there by the coaching staff that you've implemented?
I think like the biggest thing is it's not anything to do with bowling, and it's more. Are you asking bowling wise?
No,
Or-
anything.
Okay.
Anything you've learned at ITRC that, whether you use it on the lanes, off the lanes, anywhere in life.
So I've been to 3 camps now, 3 Team USA camps, and I think the biggest thing is that there is an I in team, but you want to get more people on the same page. You want to get more of them clicking on all cylinders, and you want to just get more of your team members seeing the lane at the same time. And if you can help them out, I think that's the biggest thing I've noticed.
Game
So
If you can read upside down, Sydney, there's game 3 scores. Waiting on 4. Your brother's not working fast enough.
yeah, I took a little break, Sydney. So
Oh, brothers and both of them. That can be interesting. I wonder how Sydney's enjoying the almost empty house again with you guys both gone.
yeah, Sydney.
The smile just came across her face. I didn't even need to hear a response. Just the smile she gave.
Yeah, as we have Sydney in front of us, we're behind 7 and 8, and
We'll get her on here in a minute. We'll let you give full critique of her game.
she's coming up on 7 and 8 in game 5 here. And Sydney, how you bowling?
She was plus 19 after 3.
Hasn't missed a makeable and just bowled 158 her last game for minus 23. She missed her first makeable in the 10th frame of the last game.
Okay.
So minus 23 for 4.
Hanging in
Still
there.
not that horrible.
Yeah.
At least I don't think. I don't think
Well,
that's going to
no,
be.
but you said it's probably going to. If a young lady in the 1800 girls averages 190, she'll probably see.
I think she'll see
competition
competition tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do we know? I mean, we know the 16 the 16 players will be in the 18U boys bracket. Do we know if it's going to be 16 in the U18 girls or any of the other brackets as well?
So I believe if we get 64 entries,
Yeah.
it'll be a 16-person bracket. That's 1 in 4. Yeah, 1 in 4.
1 in 4.
And
Nice to
then-
know that Mount Mercy math paid off.
No kidding. And then all other 1 in 4s will just cash.
Yep.
So up to 16 bowlers in each division will make it to tomorrow. And if there's any more than 64 bowlers, then
Yeah,
they will all cash.
Now, are they going to give buys in the bracket? Because I know it's a double elimination bracket. So are they going to give buys if there's, let's say, there's only 96 boys in the U15 boys, so they'd cut to 12 players. I mean, would that be
With 96 boys?
Oh, no, not 12. I'm sorry, not 96. I'm doing Mount Mercy. No, I'm kidding. Mount Mercy. I've never been there. I'm doing Upper Iowa math. I went to another Iowa school back in the day. Let's say 32, so they cut, or 32, 40. Let's say they had 40, so they cut to 10. So would they give buys to the top 4 players and have the other 6 roll off the first round?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah, I know last year there were buys in a couple of the brackets, but I don't know if I heard they might not do that again this year. We need to get clarification on that towards the end of the day today, because otherwise you're cutting to either 16 or 8. If you don't have buys, you're either cutting the 16, 8, 4. Yeah, that's it. Otherwise, you have to throw buys in the bracket. So
I think what we do is, we find all of the numbers, and we have that number guaranteed when we start the last squad. So we know how many are in each division, and before they get on the floor, they know what the number is.
yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, I'm not sure about buys though. That'll be a question for later.
Yeah, we'll have to figure it out between squads, because I'm sure the fans out there want to know.
Yep.
Let's see if anybody's got any questions for you out there. Nope, nobody apparently wants to ask you a question in YouTube land. Apparently we've asked all the pertinent questions for you. And we see Cassandra Westfall. We're now on 9 through 12. We just saw Cassandra throw on lane 9. And two-handed young lady, we're seeing a few more of them on the lanes. Are there any two-handed ladies on Junior Team USA? Or were there any in the Junior Gold match play this year? Do you remember?
There, I believe. Well, I didn't make it to match play,
Okay.
so I'm not sure.
Thought maybe you were cheering your sister on, but didn't she make it?
She
to
also
match play?
didn't make it.
Oh,
to
she
match
didn't
play
make it to match play this year. I thought she made it to match play this year. My apologies.
last year. So.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, I'm not sure about the girls, but I know of a few girls that are two-handed, and they do throw it pretty good. I mean, obviously, one that comes to mind is Bella Castillo.
Yep.
She's only 14, I believe, and she throws it really good. There's another one, I believe she lives outside of St. Louis. Her name is Victoria White. She throws it pretty good, too. But, yeah, two-handed for the girls is something we're seeing a little bit more and more of.
Yeah.
So,
Said a question in the chat, somebody asking what the cut for U18 boys is currently. Well, 16th place, but that's only with 3 games in on this squad for these players. It's plus 10, and I'm sure that's going to go up a little bit by the time we're done with this squad. It's probably going to go up a ton. So I'd probably say if you came in and shot 50 over, you'll be seeing action tomorrow in that U18
yeah, I think
boys.
50 is a lock.
Yeah.
I haven't really been watching the scores a whole lot, but my projected number, as I said earlier, was about even. Now, I could be a little bit wrong.
Yeah, I mean, look at some of these players. Zach DeMello started off 265. He's 5 over for his next 2. Mika Voorhees, who's won this event in the past, started with 279. He's under for his next 2. Jaden Canto started with 257, way under for his next 2. He's at plus 22 right now. So the players that started off really hot, it doesn't take long for them to fall backwards and kind of get themselves back in the pack. It's tough to keep the average going. The only player that's really done that right now is only one player in triple digits after 3, and that's Corey Nurse, 227, 255, 218 for Nurse to be at plus 100 exactly after 3. I see Brandon Bohn, fast and furious fingers, trying to get the scores out there for game 4.
The scores are not updated completely yet, but I do
we
have
just had a couple pairs on the high end just get done. So.
Yep, I do have the tablet with the scores on them, so I can tell you some big numbers that I've seen so far.
Yeah, what do we got for game 4 here?
Kirsten Mickle has 871 for her 4 games.
Okay, and that's the U18 girls?
U18 girls, and she's going to bowl 228 with a spare on lane 10 here.
Okay.
She's on our feed. Just bowled 228. Finished at plus 99 for her 5 games.
So there's your leader.
She'll be seeing competition tomorrow.
In the U18 girls.
And then Corey Nurse bowled 164 the last game, so he drops to plus 64.
Once again, players get up to the top, and they just seem to fall backwards in that U18 boys division. It's tough to put 5 big games. It's almost impossible to put 5 big games together, it seems like, out here, just because of the different transition they're hitting.
Yep.
Going across the house, because all of a sudden you're following a pair, one game that just had 15 and under girls on it, and then you go to the next pair. Not only did you have the 15 and under girls on it, then the first game it had 15 and under boys on it, and so it gets a little tough to know exactly what you want to do. It's a highly educated guess that really requires 2 good shots off your hand, the first 2 frames, and then if you don't strike, you got to be able to make that quick adjustment. And get in the pocket.
Exactly. And I heard someone say earlier after practice, they said, "Oh, this is like a longer house shot."
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, it might be a house shot on your first pair. Then you go and move, and it's not so much a house shot anymore because you got guys and girls playing a little bit of everywhere, and then you move pairs and say you miss a spare, and then you throw it out the window. Now you're looking at 170 right there if you don't double, and scores can get low pretty quick, and the guys that see it are definitely seeing it. We have Kai Strothers, who was 112 over the first 4 games. So he's our squad leader. And then right here on 7 and 8, we have Amelia Lemanowitz, plus 106.
She's your bowler B on this pair. She follows Sydney Bohn. Sydney with the open there in the 3rd.
Let me find it here.
Yeah, let's see where Lemanowitz is playing the lanes. Looks like she's getting that thumb insert out of the spare ball back into the strike ball. And are you a removable thumb insert type of player?
I am not.
You the old school molded thumb, or do you not even do that?
I just do slugs.
Okay.
I just do slugs.
And then just tape the hell out of it.
And tape it up. Yep. So Amelia, another great shot there on lane 7, is currently plus 106 with games of 214, 223, 234, and 235.
She could be leading overall. Everyone that's bowled this event at the rate she's pacing.
Very steady day for her. And with some shots on the lane this game, she'll be seeing competition tomorrow as well.
Up now, there's some people saying hi to you here. Melissa Robitaille says hi, Brandon. Jane Beamish missed that you're bowling this year. She wishes she was here to watch. Oh, I'm the best. Well, that's even better.
All right.
Thanks, Jane. I am the best on occasion. Not all the time, but on occasion I'll take it.
Yeah. Hello, Mrs. Robitaille, and hello, Grandma Jane.
Oh, it's your grandma. Okay, so Michigan? She still live in Michigan? Is that?
I think that's where she's at right now. But, I know this was one of her favorite weekends of the year, and she's super bummed out that she couldn't be here. But
well, glad she could watch. Glad she gets a chance to listen to you. So that's one of the fun parts about live streaming. I was talking to a friend of mine last night back in Wisconsin who was watching. She was on a business trip, and her son was playing in a varsity football game. It's his first year on varsity, and he's autistic, so he doesn't get in on all the plays and everything like that. But coach put him in his first varsity game. It was kind of a blowout. His team was winning, and put him in for the last couple of plays of the game. And she goes, "It was so cool to be able to see that without being able to be there because she was on a business trip." I go, "Yeah." I said, "That's one of the great parts about this that I enjoy as well is hearing from the parents and the friends and the family that can't be watching a bowler, and they go, 'It's so cool that I got to watch them, even though I couldn't be there.'" And it gives you the warm fuzzies when stuff like that happens. And it's great that you and your family and the sponsors help bring me in, and they get me here. I volunteer the time and equipment, and it's a great time for everyone to be able to watch and watch us crown champions tomorrow, even if they can't make it in the rev rates.
Yeah, I think one of the coolest things, besides you being here, Phil, which is very cool in itself, and we're, as a family, we're super ecstatic to have you here, and we can't say thank you enough for you being here and taking the time out of your week and weekend and to spend Labor Day weekend here with us. But I think one of the coolest things about having a camera on every single pair is you never miss a moment.
Right.
And say you throw this super cool messenger in game 3, frame 5, and you want to go find it, you can do that. Or if somebody leaves a 5-7-10, like we talked about earlier with me shooting them.
Yeah.
If somebody leaves a 5-7-10, you can go back and find the pair you were on and go look and watch it over and over again. And I think that's one of the coolest parts about not only you being here, but you having the equipment to set up on every single pair.
Yeah,
So.
it's pretty neat to be able. There's not a lot of people out here in the bowling industry that can do that. The only other one I know of that can really do it in this kind of coverage is Bowl TV. And if Bowl TV was doing it, they'd have to make everybody pay for it.
Yeah.
Well, we don't need to do that. We want to share all these great young players with the world. And
right here on YouTube.
Right here on YouTube. And your grandma says, Terry says hi also. Matt Russo says, hi, son. So apparently you've been adopted.
Yeah.
You going to be moving to the St. Louis area anytime soon?
Not anytime soon, but I know Matt's bowling a regional today and tomorrow, so hopefully he's bowling well. And
yeah, I like covering those regionals when I get the chance, when some of the ones escape Bowl TV. We just did one last weekend, Wisconsin right by me. It was good to see Gary Allstott take down that regional. It was a tough battle. 207 was the winning average for the weekend.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The Albee pattern played a little tough in that center.
We bowled on the Albee pattern for the tournament here a couple of years ago for the PBA Junior National Championship in 2020. That was in conjunction with this tournament.
Well, and that's a neat part for this event this year, too, is that if a young player is a PBA Junior member when they entered and they win their age division, they also get credit for PBA Junior Regional title, and every time they bowl a PBA Junior Regional after that, they're going to see their champions banner out on the lane.
Banner, yeah.
It's pretty cool. Did you win any of the PBA Junior Regionals?
I did. Fortunately, I was lucky enough to win one.
Okay.
So one of the first ever ones.
When you aged out, did they give you your banner?
I do have my banner.
That's a beautiful thing.
So
I love that they do that, because then, it looks great on a trophy room or a rec room wall. Yeah, because there's so few people that can earn, whether it's a PBA 50 regional banner, a PBA regional banner, or a PBA Junior regional banner. There's so few people that can earn those, and being able to display that is pretty cool at home.
Yeah, it's super cool. So that was really cool, and especially knowing that it was one of the first PBA Junior Regionals back when they started in 2021, and I had the opportunity. It was one of my last weekends before school ended, and I flew down to North Carolina to bowl, and I was lucky enough to beat one of my roommates now at college in the title match, James Bennett. So.
Okay. So your sister's gone from 2-8-10 reaction to now flat 10 reaction. What move would you tell her to do here to try to strike out in the 7th through 10th frames coming up?
Yeah, she's going to need a few strikes here, closing out game 5. What I would tell her, probably move a little to the right. And she don't need my help if she's got the man upstairs, the big man in town, helping her out. Dad's over there trying to give her some pointers.
Okay.
But,
so not necessarily a ball change, just a little bit of a line change.
Yeah, I think maybe like a half right or so,
okay.
1 and 1 to the right. So, especially if she's gone 2-8-10. So.
Yeah, because so many times nowadays you see, and I've seen it a bit today. You watch the players come in with the three-ball rollers, and they're placking a 10 or so, and all of a sudden it's change my ball. I got to change. Go get that ball for me, Mom. Go get that ball for me, Dad. And do you think a lot of young players rely too much on equipment to make the change when they can just simply do it with a line change, an area move?
Well, I think nowadays where we have access to so many different bowling balls that when one doesn't work for a period of time, we just say, hey, it's not me. It's the bowling ball. So then we change to a different ball when sometimes we don't even have to. But sometimes it's the problem, and yeah. So.
Okay.
Let's see what she does here on lane 7.
I just grew up in the day of, if you're lucky, you had 2 bowling balls that you could change from. My first 2-ball bag in it had a caramel white dot and a green red dot for when the lanes were a little bit drier.
I had a SpongeBob ball.
You had a there you go.
SpongeBob, and I had a ball with Dad's face on it. So.
There's the move. There's the effective shot. Now she has to admit Dad was right. Sometimes that's the toughest thing to do. Even at my age, it's tough to admit that your dad's right on occasion.
Yeah.
But looking for that strong finish. Another player looking to come back, get that strong finish with Lemanowitz here. Open frame, missed the baby split in the 6th. I mean, you know, you're in the position right now if you're Lemanowitz. You know you're in for tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Does it? Do you make an experiment or two on the lanes, or you just keep doing what you're doing if you were in her shoes?
If I was in her shoes, yeah, I think I'd just keep doing what I'm doing. Obviously, I know what I have is working.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't really want to change that.
Okay.
But yeah, because you want to post the best score you can, and see where that takes you. So.
Okay. See, I'm a little bit of a different variety. If I know I'm in somewhere and I know I could get away with a couple of frames, trying a second piece of equipment and trying a different area of the lane, because what's there today might not be there the same way tomorrow. We all know, even though these machines are calibrated to oil the same exact volume, the same exact, that's fine. It can do that all the time. As soon as you start following different people on the lanes, your game plan is going to change.
Yeah.
And tomorrow, especially because these young ladies will be bunched up in their own area of the center in a bracket, and the guys will be the same way, and they'll be following their own divisions carry down and changes. It's going to be a little bit different. So it'll be interesting to see if Lemanowitz tries a different ball or two on the way out the door. So,
yeah, with another strike in there in the 8th from Sydney. She's got a double. She's looking at 215 with the max here out in the 10th. That'll get her score to -8. And I think -8 will be good.
Yeah, for the young ladies in the U18, I would have to fully agree with you there.
Now, with only 25 entries currently in the U18 girls, we'll have to see. But with 32 entries, I believe it will be taking the top 8. So
yeah, we'll get the answer for everybody. I know there was a question earlier about the brackets if it didn't fill at 16, because obviously you don't want people getting in the brackets that didn't get a check in the normal part of the tournament. You know, type of thing. You'd hate to be the 16 seed versus the 1 seed, then have the 16 seed win, and the 1 seed would get absolutely nothing because they'd be out of a cash spot. So.
Yep. But I believe that in the U18 boys division, we will definitely have 16 bowlers coming back tomorrow.
Oh yeah, that's a no-doubter, especially with 2 squads remaining and 52 bowlers on each of those squads because they're full.
And I believe that the U15 boys for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure about girls.
Yeah, girls we were only about 6 or 7 so far, but obviously that'll go up as we have our last couple of squads.
Let's see. I don't like to say for sure because we don't know for sure yet, but the U18 boys will definitely have 16 boys bowling tomorrow. Let's see. U15 girls, currently there are only 6 entries. So U15 girls might be a little less than 16.
No, and that ball looked a little left of Bohn's last shot, and that slid along. That's something you usually see on a tougher pattern where the miss is left. Usually the ball goes left. That seemed to skid a little long on her, and a 2-8.
Yeah, so currently there's 21 boys in the U15 boys division. Obviously, again, I think that number will go up, but right now, if it stays where it's at, which, like I said, I don't think it will. I think there will be more entries. We're probably looking at 8 to 12 bowlers in the U15 boys tomorrow.
Okay.
So.
And once again, once we get down to the final 2 in each of our 5 divisions, we'll throw those bowlers over into rev rates.
That we will.
They will battle for the title.
To crown our 2023 Parker Brown III Scholarship Tournament winners. So Amelia with back-to-back splits on the right lane, and that one's a little left. for the rail, the 1-3-6-10, but she's still looking at a really good score for her 5-game total. She'll be well in the cut for tomorrow. Wonder if we can go around the center real quick.
What lanes you looking at?
Let's
Take a
see.
peek in on.
Yeah, there's a lot of people wrapping up.
Yeah.
I just wonder if there's any scores throughout the center.
Let's take a look here.
Take a quick look before Sydney gets up to throw her shot.
There was a
9 through 12 is done.
Yep. Let's get back to Sydney here.
Survey says nice shot.
Well, it's still got the 193, so that's going to leave her in a pretty decent position at minus 30. We talked about minus 50 would be okay for those
Yeah.
U18 girls, but I don't know. Is she on a re-entry squad?
I'm not sure.
Not sure. Not a lot going on there.
Nope, just 13 and 14. 15 and 16 is all done. A few scores coming out of 19 and 20. A 4-bagger.
We're all done on 21 through 24. We're all done on 25 through 28. And down on
Our only
our
pair
end
with
pair.
5.
Yeah. And they're almost done.
And
They've
they're
kept
wrapping
pace
up
pretty
too,
well.
yeah.
It's never easy to do when you're the odd number compared to everyone else. But these young ladies getting up there, getting ready to bowl. They're not changing the pre-shot routines. Trust me, they're not rushing anything.
Not at all. So back over on 7 and 8. Sydney finishes with 182. So she'll finish about minus 40 for the block. And as 31 and 2 finishes up, we'll stay on 31 and 2, Phil.
All right.
Until this round is over, and we will be back for the 12:30 squad, and we'll let you listen
Wow.
to the sights and sounds.
It's like you knew I was bringing the graphic up right at that moment.
Well,
How about
hey,
that?
we must be good together. So we'll let you listen to the sights and sounds of the final few frames of the 9 a.m. squad for Saturday morning, and we will be back at 12:30 with the 12:30 squad.
Yep.
Squad number 4.
Yep, 5 squads. The last one will be at 4 p.m. He's Brandon Bohn. I'm $2 Phil. Parents take the kids bowling because they'll have fun for life, and we'll see you back here in a little while. Thanks for sitting in, Brandon. Appreciate it.
rev rates behind lanes 1 and 2. Bowlers that have checked in, if you can, please report to your starting lanes. I'm going to start announcements here momentarily. All right, everyone. Let me start by saying welcome to the 24th Annual Parker Bohn III Scholarship Tournament. Before we get into competition, I would like to take this opportunity to thank a few of the following people for making this year's event possible. First of all, Brunswick Corporation. Their continued support and sponsorship throughout all of our 24 years has certainly helped our event grow and get better and better. Bill Rollback of Manchester County Services, Chris Forey and Buddy's Pro Shop, and of course Chuck and Deborah Gardner from Bowl for Life. Although Chuck had to leave because he had another engagement to get to this evening, they are graciously donating $2,500 in scholarships, and we will pick out 2 lucky draw bowlers from each squad, and each youth will receive $250 in scholarship before they throw a ball down the lane today. So that's really, really cool. And please, when you look at the front of the masking units, all the additional sponsors that we have out there, as they have all graciously supported our event, not only this year, but many years in the past. We'd like to thank Neil and Nicole Feingold, as well as Charles Anderson, the owners here at Howell Lanes, and the entire staff for helping, hosting, and promoting the outstanding event that we have going on. Matt Hemmelreich from the PJBT staff, as well as Danny Wiseman and Billy Gasson for their help promoting the tournament through their events. Thank you once again. To our volunteers, thanks for taking time out of their holiday weekend to spend time with us. Tom, Maria, Larry, Robin, Madison and Susan, as well as Justin and Brandon, and of course Leslie, their endless support has certainly made this event really, really go great. For sure. Special guests, like I mentioned earlier, Chuck Gardner was here from Bowl for Life, and their sponsorship of the event, what they were doing in giving back to the youth is endless. But also Phil Brylow from 10 on the Deck. Okay, he will be providing all of the live stream that you see. Folks, you can connect to our live stream if you go to YouTube and type in Justin Bohn, and then click on the live feed. You can watch the live stream of the bowling tournament, obviously all day today as well as tomorrow. So please make sure you tell your family, friends and loved ones that that's what they can do. A special thank you to Justin for truly being the social king for this event and handling all of our entries. Everything that's gone through this year coming in, Justin has put his hand on that and made sure that hopefully everything can run smooth, and so far it's certainly showing up and running flawlessly. And last but not least is to my wife Leslie. Folks, none of us would be here in this facility if it wasn't for her hard work and dedication to put this time and efforts that she's done over the last couple of months, not just with the Youth Open, because I know a lot of you have been fortunate to be part of her Youth Open experience out there, but what she does gaining the sponsorships and bringing in the dollars that we raise to try to make this event go is really tirelessly and endless. So Leslie, once again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for making all this happen. Jeremy Leventhal and Joseph Adoram, if you are here in the building, please come to the front desk and see Justin so that you can get a spot into this squad. One more thing I'm going to add when it comes to Leslie, if anyone is attending college this fall and they would like to have their scholarship monies, please make sure that you see Leslie or myself so that we can make sure that those funds end up in their proper place. A few rules that I like to share with everyone. Juniors, you will be bowling 5 games of competition today. Please follow your score sheet to go to your next pair. I believe you will be skipping 2 pairs of lanes in use. If you need a correction, please find myself or one of the other tournament managers that are walking the floor. We will take care of that and make sure that everything runs smoothly and take care of any corrections along the way. Also, please do not erase your scores. The attendants will take care of that because they're writing scores down to keep things updated each and every game as you're out there bowling. 1 out of 4 bowlers from each division will advance to the final.